Hello, everyone. It's Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I share with you some of the things that I'm working on. And so today, it turns out, I need some baby cards. And I said, well, you know what? I haven't done any baby cards in a very long time, and so I thought I would make them with you. So that's what we're going to do today. We have a couple of products that work perfectly well for baby cards, and that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to flip over to my desktop so we can, let's see, do it like that. There we go. And oops, there goes the keyboard. I want to apologize for last week because I was not here, and that's because I recorded the program, and it was great, except that the camera that got recorded big like this was the wrong one. It was the one that was facing me, and I don't know what I did, but long story short, I didn't have time to redo it, so we had to skip that one, and that was deleted forever, and maybe one day we'll go back and do that card, but anyway, so today we are going to use a couple of different products, and I'm going to start with this cutest onesie bundle, and this bundle is great to have if you think you might have baby cards anytime in the future. It's got a cute little onesie that you can customize. It has perfect little sentiments for that, and it comes with a few little dies. And this bundle is only $27 for both pieces, which is one of our most reasonable bundles that we have. Granted, it doesn't have a lot, but you don't need a lot. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it. So that is the stamp set that I used. And we're going to make a boy card and a girl card. And I'm going to start with the boy card, just because that's what I have here. So I'm taking a piece of thick basic white cardstock. I believe it's still unavailable, but it'll be back soon. There was a bit of a run on it. There's a whole story behind that, but it's a moot point because it's going to be back. So I took a piece of basic white regular cardstock. So this is the thick, and this is the regular cardstock. So it's a little bit thinner, and I ran it through the eyelet embossing folder. So that is one that is going to be sticking around. So if you like it, it goes so nicely with baby cards, right? When I think of baby clothes, especially baby girl clothes, I think of eyelet, right, material. So, but it can also go with so many other things. Because this is textured, I'm going to use my wet adhesive to adhere it to the front. Just putting some on there. There we go. And we'll lay that down. Now, I have to admit, I did not assemble these cards beforehand. I need two cards. I need one boy and one girl. And because you'll see later, for one reason, I didn't want to make too many extras. And so we're just going to build this as we go. So the next thing that I did, hopefully I can find it here, is I made our little onesie. And I just took a piece of basic white cardstock and I stamped my onesie. And here it is. Look how cute that is. It's clear photopolymer. And I'm just going to stamp it onto the white because I'm going to be die cutting it out, right? So it can go anywhere. A little hair, and it's red, so it's mine. Can't blame anybody else. And then look at this. It makes little buttons. So for a boy, I wanted to have buttons. Now you could get really fancy and add a little pocket for the boy, and if it was a girl, maybe you would put a little heart. This is like a little cloud and a star. It's just so cute. Anyway, so you can easily make the onesie anything you like. You can also stamp this onesie on a piece of Designer Series paper, and that would look terrific too. So all I did was I went over to die cutting machine and I lined up my die and had it cut out. Now, when you do so, it cuts it out nicely, and it also cuts a little slit here. And the reason it cuts that slit, I'm going to show you, is because you can also die cut out, here it is, you can die cut out a little hanger. Check out this little hanger. Sometimes I make it out of the shiny silver paper, but this time I just used, this is, I believe it is Smoky Slate is what I use, but it's just this little hanger. And let me just show you this one little trick on how to put this in. So some people, you know, just like when you're hanging a t-shirt, you want to try to get it in there. It doesn't always work, but it always works if you come from behind and up through the back of the shirt. And once you have it in place, you can put your adhesive on the back, and that will hold it for you. So how cute is that, right? So I'm not quite ready to do the adhering, but now that I have my cute little onesie, let's go ahead and grab some Designer Series paper. Now this is from the adorable Storybook Moments, and this is the back side of one of this sheet that has little squirrels and other little animals, and you can use whatever you would like, but I'm going to use, I really like this design. I like the colors in it. I love that it has all that moss lagoon, and I'm just going to adhere this to a piece of slightly larger moss lagoon paper, and I've just left a little bit of a border all the way around. So you can see that works out perfectly. And so what I'm going to do then is use my dimensionals. Now I'm on to my edges again. So I do that. I use my edges of my dimensionals, and I'm just using 2. Don't need a lot. Doesn't have to pop up too much. And I'm going to put it a little bit towards the top. And then I'm going to add my little onesie. I'm going to put him on an angle. You could put it straight, whatever you like. I've seen so many different variations on this. And I'm also going to use a dimensional for this. Actually, I'm going to use a longer one so that hopefully I can get and adhere down. So I put it right over where the hanger is. And I'll peel off the backing carefully. And I'm going to put another one just at the bottom. And there we go. We can then put this on the card on an angle. Oh, we'll go this way. All right. So now that we've got that, that's adorable. Now you could have put it straight again, as I mentioned. And then I took a tag, and I have to apologize that I just learned that these tags are sold out. They were from the Greetings of the Season and Everyday Greetings stamp sets bundle, and it's gone. So unfortunately, you cannot get this, but you can use any label here. I just didn't know it until I was looking up my, so I was already prepared, and it was a little too late. So I'm stamping a big welcome to your, and then it says, oh, this one says, good thing I looked. And I'm going to put, you could put new baby in script. And then this one, because it's a boy, there's my sweet boy right here. I'm going to use sweet boy on this card. You can see that I was preparing the sweet girl card before. So I just put it right onto the back. You might want to peel off the other stamp so that you can see through, so that you can line it up as well as you can. Now you could have done this on a bigger block and put them together. They are designed to go together. So a big welcome to your sweet boy. And we are going to adhere that with some dimensionals as well. So this is a super simple card. You know, I'm not doing anything terribly fancy, and the little onesie does it all for you. And I'm just going to put it down at the bottom. Now, as I said, you could use any tag, but I always like to cover that hole. And so I'm using this unbelievably useful and versatile, this is the white 1/4-inch ribbon, and that is its name. And I am telling you, this is probably my 4th spool, and it's only been out a little while. I use it all the time. You can color it if you wanted to with Stampin' Blends or even just your regular markers. And then I'm just going to use some glue dots, And of course I use the ones that are from my paper pumpkin kits. Get that down there. I'm just covering up the hole and peeling off the little backing. I'm going to put that on there. And here is my little baby boy card. Now, I might go back and add some little pearls to it because it needs a little bit of bling. The pearls, the gems I pulled out that I'm going to use on the other, I don't know. I didn't pull out very good gems for this, so I think we're going to use little white pearls, and I'm going to just add them around. But I think that's a perfect card to go with the adorable little gift. Oh my goodness, I went to the Carter store that's near me. I haven't been in a very, very long time. I had been dissatisfied with what I was finding at Macy's and some of the other big stores. And I went in there and oh my gosh, I could have bought everything in the store. It was so cute and so affordable. Could not believe it. If you have suggestions for baby stores, I'd love to hear it. Please put them in the comments. So anyway, let's move on and make our little baby girl card. So I'm also starting with a piece of basic white, thick basic white cardstock. This time I folded it the other way. This is honestly what I had on my desk. So one was vertical, one was not. And I'm going to do the same thing and use my eyelet embossing folder to create the background. So here we go. Let's get that on there. Okay. Glue that down with my wet adhesive. So there we go. I'll get that down. Okay, and this time I'm going to use some more items from our Storybook Moments designer series paper. And what this comes with is lots of, it has 8 sheets of double-sided papers, and then it also has some other sheets that you can cut apart, and then it also comes with some die cuts, and that's what I'm going to use on this card. But for now, I'm just taking Garden Green because I like the way that these strawberries looked. I do have to say, I was not able to, I didn't feel comfortable with any of the matches. I really wanted to match the pink of the strawberries, but I couldn't figure it out. Just didn't give the right feel, so I just went with the green. And I'm going to put this on. All the measurements you can find in the description of this video. And I don't know, is there an up and a down? I'm going to go this way. And I'm just overlapping a little bit just to make for a nice background and offset by the eyelets. Okay. So there we have it. So take a look at some of the little die cuts. There are whole sheets of these die cuts. And I do have them here, but they all fall out. Check it out. Look, we have the mommy duck and a baby duck. And that's what I'm going to use on this card for this little girl. And I die cut out a basic white circle using, this is my go-to stylish shapes dies. And I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. And I'm going to add to it as we go. So one of the nice things about these little die cuts is that you can just mix and match them. And they are very similar to our ephemera packs that we have. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this up here, kind of doing the same thing as I did on the other card. And I'm going to put our duck and our duckling, mommy, baby and mommy. And I'm going to put them on with just some regular adhesive at this point. Here we have mommy duck and then baby duck. And of course you could use any of the little die cuts that come in that. I highly recommend you take a look at what's available there. But then because we have a little girl, and I just love that this evokes the whole Mother Goose kind of idea. And I'm gonna add some flowers. So I punched out some flowers, and I wanted to talk about these punches. So this punch, these leaves right here, are made with the Lovely Leaves punch, and this is going to be retiring. So I highly recommend getting this one for the leaves, and then also retiring on the last chance list are the little, this is, oh geez, I had it in front of me. Petal Park Punch, and it cuts out these little flowers, and you'll see just how cute they are. So I'm just going to be adding these around the outside, and I saw that a card was similar to this. And once I have them in place, I'll go back and glue them. But I did punch out a whole bunch of the flowers because I wasn't sure of how many I would want to use. And one of the nice things you can do with the flowers is just sort of rough up the edges a little bit so they stand up. You can also layer them together if you wanted to, so you could have a flower like that. And then you could put another one over here. And I'm going to definitely keep mine, odd numbered. So let's put a big one here and maybe just a little one right by it. So that's pretty much how I'm going to set this up. I'm not going to use this one, I think. And so I'm just going to work my way up. And now, I might have used some more of these if I had a little more time, but and I can always go back and add some more. But I'm just going to start with this over here. And just using you could use any adhesive that you want. And I like the way that using the white flowers, they don't take over the card. If these were another color, I think it would just kind of pull away from, the little elements that we have on here. So let's put one over here. That's not going to stick. Okay, we're just going to, maybe we're going to use a dimensional on that one. That was silly. It's fine. Put it right over the wet glue. Nobody's going to know the difference. All going to stick beautifully. We'll get that there. And then let's go ahead and put our leaves here. We don't need a lot to stick. So again, I'm just sliding it under. And so again, look how easy it is to embellish when you have these punches, these punched elements. So between these and the flowers, we are in a terrific shape for our card. Down here, and then also a little one down at the bottom. All right, so there we have our pretty flowers. Now, I have some little yellow embellishments here. These are party dots, and I always like to have centers to my flowers, so there goes my little packet. So I'm just going to use my scissors, only because my Take Your Pick tool is occupied. I have class tomorrow that I'm preparing for, so let me take two. And I need the third one of these somewhere. Got that. And we'll turn that over. Blah. But you can see that, yeah, I kind of feel like every flower needs a center of some kind. All right, so we're almost done, and I would have liked to have put some pink ones on, but this pink is just a little too bright, so it didn't work for me. But I'm going to use that same tag that is since retired, and I'm going to put it down here using dimensionals after I stamp my sentiment. I have to switch out my stamps here, and I'm going to use Garden Green. Again, I wanted to use pink, a shade of pink, but it just wasn't working for me. So, I don't know. This card didn't come out quite as wonderful as I had hoped. It's not my favorite. I don't know. Kind of has some competing elements on here, just with the colors. But I do love the elements that we used. And here we go. A big welcome to your sweet girl. It's a little crooked, but you know what? It's handmade, and I know it will be appreciated. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on to my card. Put that down here. I'm going to let the little, and overlap it a little, just because I like that little goose, the little duckling to stand on there. And we're going to do the same thing with the ribbon, tie it in a knot, use a glue dot, cover the hole, and again, you can use anything, obviously, but because this little tag is no longer available, again, I try not to do that. Use things that are not orderable, because I know that's the thing that you're going to want. But it wasn't until the very last second that I realized that it's not out there. I was trying to put it into the list of supplies, and I couldn't find it, and that's what clued me in to the fact that you can't get it right now. So, unfortunately, but you definitely can get the. I think the leaf punch might be back ordered temporarily, but it's definitely coming back. And so there we go. Hey, Anne-Marie, thank you for joining. You found me today. So anyway, so that is the second baby card. So you'll have to let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions, or if you make some baby cards, please be sure to let me know, and you can post them under here so we can all see them. So thank you so much for joining me, and it was great to be back. I have to admit, next week I'm not going to be here. I'm lucky enough to be going on vacation, going with my cousin. We're going to Cancun, going to get some sun and water, and I can't wait. But I'll be back the week after, so I will see you. I believe that is April 30th that I'll be back. But if you have any questions, I will be responding to emails, so feel free to contact me. But thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you the next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.